Got it. Not too bad. 17 minutes late. Better than normal.
Doing
This
well.
is facts.
See,
What up, y'all? What
chat
up? What up?
here
What up?
so I can really see what's really get the cooking. What's going on, everybody?
good?
How y'all
What's good?
Monday
feeling?
Night Raw.
Back
Facts.
at it like crack addicts.
Yo,
Hey, what's going on, people? Y'all know what to do, fellas. I'm about to get the links off to the public.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why
man.
don't
Yeah.
see the shit up? Oh, there we
That's-
go. I
yeah,
see
you
it.
got it.
There we go.
You know,
There
YouTube, you
we
gotta refresh
go.
it. You know what I mean? Because they're not gonna
Yeah.
give us that.
Boom, 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 boom.
As you following everybody, please make sure to hit that like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like
Do
button.
that for us. We'd
Thanks.
appreciate it. Greatly.
Mm.
We need that.
And I know y'all got some burners out there. Log into all of them.
Facts.
Facts.
Your real shit, your burner, your backup burner, log into all them shits. Like from all of them.
Etc.
Your burnt burner. Like, come on, man.
All the etceteras. You dig?
Facts.
Share the link in the group chat. Do all that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tag
Mhm.
someone who loves hip hop, man.
Alright. Mad Max off the rip. What up? boy?
Yer.
Mad Max, what up?
What's
Gonna
good?
get
What's
this
good?
down.
He in the
Peace,
belly?
peace.
Yes, sir.
McFly,
That's
what
what
up?
it is. Hey, don't tell us what that man said on the other show. You know,
He tried. Off rip, Max. What's
don't
up?
tell us what the other man said.
Already? God damn, man.
Leave us
Nah,
out of his mix
nah,
up.
we-
Whatever he say on his show
We
is
want to
his business.
protect our entity.
Word.
So please.
Word.
That's all we trying to do.
So
Yeah,
it
man.
begins.
We not on them times, bro.
Yo. Real
See a
quick in
couple
the
new
chat.
names in the chat. I see.
Real quick in the chat. Who was there for the Locks and Meth and Red show yesterday? Show of hands in the chat.
Oh
Let us
shit.
know. Y'all was in the building.
Met the red and the locks.
Keefe, what up? Tim Nash, what up?
Yeah.
Ham Skillet, what up?
LG in
Leroy.
here.
Excelero, what
Leroy.
up? Leroy.
Leroy Green in the building.
My
Yes, sir.
guy,
Yeah.
what's goody?
Crowd filling in. Crowd filling in.
What up, y'all? What up? We gonna cook in a second. We just, we need the people,
Yeah.
all the regulars,
Right.
all the newcomers. You know what I
No
mean?
doubt, no doubt.
Assess the
So
situation
facts,
a little bit.
facts, Timothy. Hit the like button.
Yo, Dean, you want to talk about the show a little bit?
Oh man. Yeah, you start off actually. You usually good job at setting the tone, brother.
Yeah, well, so if y'all don't know, in New York yesterday we had another 50 and Forever show. I think that's what the series is called.
Yes,
We
sir.
are going to see the
Also,
clips.
Hip Hop
and
50
Rick
still
Ross.
going?
It's still going.
Wow.
It
Come
end
on,
on
bro.
August 11th, obviously.
That's
Come
crazy.
on, bro.
We still cooking.
Wow. Who'd have
So
thunk
it's been
it?
Who would have thought?
Yeah, so it's been an ongoing series. We went to go see Clips and Rick Ross a few
Rosé.
weeks ago. There was a Wale show too, I think. We ain't go to see that. We was
Yeah, there was.
Shouts to Wale.
but then like I think like midweek last week is when they just out of nowhere announced this lock show. And soon as we heard about it, we jumped on it.
Pause.
And then hey yo, relax. But then like a few days later, they added Nothing Red onto the show. I'd already caught the ticket. I was like, I'm going to the Locks regardless. You know what I mean? But then they added Red and Meth. I was like, oh shit, this shit about to be super lit. Yeah, so we was in attendance yesterday. Red and Meth, I don't know, bro, because them dudes is old, especially Redman. Redman's up there. The energy they got on stage still is
Immaculate,
incredible, immaculate. It was even like extra special for me to be live in attendance because and I just realized this yesterday. I had never ever seen Redman live, and Redman, as
Oh, wow.
you know, I've also already told the story a number of times. You know what I mean? That first Redman album was the game changer for me.
That's Sin's guy, man.
And it dawned on me yesterday. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Redman live. That's crazy. How is that?
Crazy.
So to see him, he came out that when they both came out, they came out to Time for Some Action, and that just set the tone for the whole night. The whole night was nothing but like just classic, dope hip hop, classic records, high energy, nobody rapping over their vocals, none of that, new age bullshit. Everybody was live MCing up there. I thought what was kind of interesting or somewhat humorous was that Red and Meth actually have like a little choreography that they have, like they do like little dance routines or whatever. It almost reminded me of some Kid and Play shit. You know what I mean? It was kind of dope. But yeah, man, Red and Meth killed it. The Locks, I mean, it's the Locks, bro. Like Jadakiss came out to, he did the Who Shot Ya freestyle. He also did the Where I'm From freestyle over that whole beat. Styles P did what was that shit from the Violators? The Violators Come Through. There we go.
There we go. Yeah.
They Come Through. They did Niggas Done Started Some off DMX. Obviously they did their own classics, you know what I mean? Wild Out and all that. They, We Gonna Make It. Just all around incredible show. One of the dopest shows I've seen. I've seen several shows this summer. That's up there for sure.
Energy, man.
What's the word, Dan?
Yo, first of all,
how Dini wasn't gonna add to the story after Sin asked him, bro? Like,
nah. I was just seeing if it was a pause or not. But like, first of all, I was a dead body, man. Shout out to Sin. It was his born day on Saturday.
Oh, that's
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so the homies was outside. We rocked out. I ain't get home till 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying? And then I had to shoot to work for Sunday. So I was already a dead body after work. Shot over to the concert.
I forgot you had to work. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Got to the concert, and I was a dead body, man. But the energy in the building, so shout out to Sin, palpable, man. Like, brought me back to life while I was in there. Like, Meth and Red, like, Sin encapsulated this shit perfectly, man. Actual dance routines, not on some, I know y'all had dance routines. I think like some Hammer Time shit on some extra crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about like just motion together. You know what I'm saying? As two dynamic artists working together to just entertain the crowd. We know they're MCs, so that's no question. But the actual crowd control is crazy. Meth was on his speaker box shit. They played Old Dirty Bastard records. It's like, I mean, it was just culture, bro. Like, first of all, shout out to them dudes, man, being in great shape as they was, being able to like rock the stage. They did wild joints, bro. Like, they did cuts. It wasn't like they just did like 3 or 4 records, y'all. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 back-to-back verses. You know what I'm saying? We got Tonight's the Night. We got what we got from the show? All I Need with Mary. Like, this nigga was.
Mary wasn't there.
Obviously. Okay. But the record with Mary, it was.
Yo, so that was like a mini concert y'all went to. It wasn't just a show.
Nah, bro, it was different. Like, we got B-sides, we got A-sides. Like, the records was like, you heard what Sin said about the Locks joints. Your man Sheek Louch did Good Love, bro. Like, we was getting whole records. Like,
unfortunately,
he did.
Don't do that. I like don't do that, man. Sheek killed yesterday. Shout out to Sheek Louch, man. The crowd was loving. Sheek has been a part of a lot of amazing music. Don't do that, man. Benjamin's was crazy. Money, Power, Respect. They did all of.
Sheek is your favorite member of the Locks, ain't it? Because you always put the cape on.
Yo, you peeped that.
You always do that.
It switched over the years, bro. At my first favorite nigga of the group was Sheek Louch, bro, off the Money, Power, Respect album. My son was talking.
Remember, Sheek was the face of the Locks. The initial Bad Boy entry, Sheek was the star.
You didn't love me when my name was Sean. Now you see how bitches act when Benjamin's come on. Like, he was that nigga for a good minute.
And then reality set in.
Wow. Nah, he was talking slick. He was talking slick.
He set you up with that one, Dean. I ain't gonna lie.
He did. And then Kiss became everyone's favorite. And then slowly Styles P crept in and took the crown for a while. And it's been back and forth between Jada and P.
Best thing that happened to SP was going to Rough Riders. SP, once he got unleashed on Rough Riders, boy, that was a different type of animal, bro. Different.
Jada Kiss could straddle the line. SP not so much, man. He was always on the
They did.
On
They
that
did.
real side, you know what I mean?
Banned from TV, literal back to back, bro. Did the banned from TV joint.
Yeah,
Literal
man.
back to back, bro. Like backs
Some
pressed
versus
against each
shit.
other on some. We the best duo with this shit. We the best back and forth duo. Nobody's
Absolutely.
fucking with us, and they'll have the crown, bro. There
You know
really is
what's
no one
crazy?
fucking with that.
These little kids, to be an old head for a second, like y'all don't even have the luxury of the back and forth flow. Everybody just drilling on making these melodic raps. Y'all not even getting the expertise of the back to back flow. And mad artists used to do that back in our day. You used to get that from people.
Yeah,
but,
bro,
you know what I mean.
can't-
But now we just
because you can't do
you know what I mean?
you can't do that over email, bro. You gotta
shit.
be in the
That's a
studio
fact.
together.
That's tough.
Fuck out of here,
Fact.
man.
Touche. Well, shout out to Sin birthday. I couldn't make it to the concert, but I probably doubt I would have made it because Sincere Mans, we always talk about Al. Al ain't never been on the show, but we always talk about Al on the
Salute
show.
to Al.
Al, we need you on the pod, Al.
Yes,
But
please.
we was on the Migos, and then Al thought it was a great idea to just introduce Hennessy into the mix.
No. Time out. I'm sorry. Half of that has to go to Al. The other half has to be blamed on Deanie.
Okay.
Because Deanie, because he asked Deanie. No, matter of fact, he asked all of us. He was like, "Amigo shots good," and Deanie was like, "Nah, I'm drinking Henny."
I
So
said,
then he ended up getting everybody Henny. So it was a little miscommunication there.
Man,
Part of
I
it
said,
was
I'm on Henny.
listen to me.
Henny
I had
after the Migos shot.
I had to
That's
Yo.
sick, man.
No. Henny after multiple drinks of Migos.
Yo, man,
Yeah.
Migos, and then we wash it down with Hennessy. I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
and I knew
bro.
I was wilding in real time. I had the heartburn, bro. I had to get the tums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit
I
was
don't even drink
dangerously,
like
bro.
that.
Do
You know
not
what I
try
mean?
this at home,
Hell
children.
no.
Do not try this
No.
at
Living
home.
dangerously.
Leave this
Live
to
your
the
best life.
professionals.
You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Popeyes and Tums to get me back right, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you went and grabbed Popeyes?
I had to, bro. You
Yeah,
shitting
man.
me?
The
Well,
good
fellas,
old Utica
that's it.
Popeyes
You
run.
know,
That's
you already
right.
know what it is, B. I got the 5-piece strips with the fries. It's really like 8 pieces if you get the right person to put the strips in the box. You know what I mean? You know how I
Man, they
go.
hold it down.
You know,
So love.
if
Yeah,
I wasn't an
man.
honest person, I would have got some ghost wings too, but she was messing with some Arab lady. She messed the order up. She was like, "Oh, you didn't get the wings?" I was like, "Nah." Then I thought about it. I said, "Shit, why did I say no? Why am I honest? I could have got some wings and one
You
time."
could have got the free wings, bro.
They hitting too.
You know what I mean?
Yo,
But
shouts to everybody in the chat wishing me a happy born day. Appreciate y'all.
of course,
You know
we
what I
got
mean? I'm
a
getting
federal
up
agent in
there.
there asking you what year you were born. You know what I mean?
Nah, relax with all that, man.
Babylon.
Just go,
Government.
you know, estimate from the grays in the beard.
Word.
Just do a little guesstimate.
Miss LB was good. Non-plus was good. Leroy Green was good. I see the familiars are
The
definitely
homies, man.
pulling in.
Marcos.
You know what I mean?
Yo,
A
that
lot,
old
of,
Marcos,
a lot
what
of
up?
good folks in the building.
Marcos, I've been uptown a couple times. I ain't seen you, bro. You gotta come outside, Marcos. You basically on the team, nigga.
Marcos.
Next time I'm
I
uptown,
ain't
you
gonna
better
lie,
see.
it's a
Gotta
fact.
pop out, man.
Next concert we at or whatever event we at, I better see you out there, bro. You know what I mean? But
Nas
fellas,
and Woo, Marcos, you better pull up, bro.
that's a fact.
So
So
we still got to do Nas and Woo, man.
that's the next one, ain't
That's
it?
that's gonna
Yes.
be it.
Late
For me, it's
September.
gonna be it for a minute
Yeah.
because I've done a lot of shows this summer, man.
Is that a hip hop 50 show?
No, man, come on.
I'm rocking out all year, man.
Jesus.
Everything. All good events. I'm outside, man. I'm rocking out, man. We're gonna celebrate 50 to the whole shit.
All right, fellas. So look,
Yeah.
Irv Gotti's back outside. I think Irv Gotti is becoming our New York equivalent of Gip for Drink Champs, like or like the Boozy for Vlad. You know what I mean? When
Right,
Irv
right.
Gotti pull up to the Drink Champs, it's appointment viewing, and of course he
It is.
delivers. He made some comments about Dame Dash's relationship with Jay-Z, and we're gonna get to that in a second. But he made some comments about Nas and how he lost Nas when there was a little flirtation there with Nas possibly, joining Murder Inc. And I remember being younger and I felt like he was in the video and it seemed like it was a thing. I'm like, oh, he's about to sign to Murder Inc. And I remember wondering, like, if you're running around with Hove, how you signing Nas to Murder Inc.? I was confused about that.
Yeah.
And then one day it just vanished. It was kind of out of the news cycle. We didn't hear about it anymore. And I always wondered every now and again, what happened with that? There was a video shoot, the Nas reveal. It was a whole thing. It was a Tupac thing, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? Then he says he tried to take Nas through the hood in Baltimore to get some fried chicken. perked up to do it for the look. I'm like,
For
what?
the look?
For the look.
What kind of
Yeah.
look? See, the first thing I thought was, what the fuck kind of look is
The
that, bro?
look.
For the
Yo,
look, and this would
the
be
look is we're good
this
in these
is-
streets.
look,
That's
and
the
this
look.
this is how you know some motherfuckers was addicted to that clout long before Instagram and Twitter. What the fuck
Facts.
kind of look is that, bro?
Then have at
Rolls
it.
Royce to the hood?
Make it make sense.
What? Kennedy Fried Chicken? Like what are we doing?
Popeyes, fried chicken in the hood.
I don't know,
This
man.
is like it's like '02. Popeyes didn't run shit yet. This might have been KFC, man. Be honest.
He was trying to get some of that fried chicken from the chicken spot with the mumbo sauce. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? And this is '02. This is Wire Baltimore. Weebay and them might have been running around. Omar and shit. This the Baltimore
Marlo.
that Irv wanted to pull up to,
Yeah.
bro. Listen, man.
Like, you know, I don't know Irv Gotti. I don't know that man. But it's like, were you like a loser in your youth that you wanted to do every cool
Listen.
nigga shit possible? Like, I'm gonna go to Baltimore with the tour bus and the Rolls Royce, we gonna pull up. And you know, and think how he told, so you know how crazy it would be if we just
Bruh.
out there, the hood would love us. Somebody's gonna try to rob y'all. What do you mean by
High
that?
on ecstasy.
Like, what are we
Yo.
saying here?
Yo, it's giving narcissism, bro. Like at like absolute 100% narcissistic tendencies, man. Because then Nori like pushed back a little bit, you know what I mean? And then he was like, nah, but what I told Nas is like, you know, if we get killed, we're gonna be martyrs. Like martyrs, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? But a martyr dies for a cause. What the fuck kind of cause? You die for some fried chicken in the hood? To stunt?
Oh, man.
Nobody gets to
Yo.
call
That's what you
themselves
doing?
martyrs either. Isn't there like rules for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's another point. But when you're a narcissist, that's the type of shit that goes on in your head. You're like, yo, if I die, I'm gonna die on some martyr shit. You know what I mean? No matter what the cause is. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, he
Good point.
told Nas, he was like, yo, like, you know, let's just drive the Rolls Royces through the hood, get some fried chicken. And Nas was like, yo, bro, that's not a good idea. Like, we could, you know, shit could get real. He was like, well, nah, if we die martyrs. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, come on.
Hey, we got a super chat here. First one of the night. King or Negus says, salute, fellas. Happy birthday, Sin. Big birthday.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Sin. Go ahead,
Good
Mace.
looks.
Now I was just gonna say, listen, man. Irv Gotti sounds like a complete moron here, like usual. I think the big problem here is that he never grew up, though, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, like in them days, a lot of niggas was living like that, right? You know what I mean? I remember the famous 50 Cent lyric. You know what I mean? What he say? I die if you go for my chain. Like, you got to kill me for my chain. That used to be the rap. That used to be how niggas in rap was. You know what I mean? Like, niggas got to kill me for my shit. Like, niggas, you know, that used to be the vibe. I think the overall point here is that you hear these stories often about Nas, right? We heard the famous Yayo story about when he went on tour with them with 50 Cent and Nas was reading books and shit. And he was like, man, this is what niggas really do on tour. Like, you hear this often that Nas was like way more emotionally mature than a lot of these niggas back in these days. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to point that out too, because Irv, even though I think the issue here is that Irv still believes this is a good idea in 2023. Most niggas would be like, I was fucking bugged out. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Because the feeling from when he was telling the story is like, yo, we really should have done that. Like, no, you should not have, bro. Like, what are you
like it was a lost opportunity or something. You know what I mean? Like,
bro.
Yo, it's the streets, my nigga. Like, I feel like we all have kind of our idea of the type of shit we want to do when we reach a certain level financially and, you know, of power. You know, we all have our idea. And I think, like, Irv just strike me. First of all, Irv was always bugged out to me, bro. Irv strike me as a nigga that will stab you and then lick the knife type nigga. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those, he just always struck me as one of those, like, when he's on his shit, he's demented. Kind of like the one-track minded niggas, he always struck me as that. So, like, he's looking at it from the culture perspective. And I don't want to blame it on hip-hop, but there's niggas that would be crazily saluted for doing shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna lie. Now, let's say Irv just happened to have done that shit. Niggas would have looked at Irv like shit different. Like, you in the trap, bro. with fucking $400,000 vehicles, eating fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of niggas would have looked at that and yo, that Irv is different. Because I mean, even when who did that shit? The Clips did it with Cam, remember? And I think they was in the
That
Clips.
was a
That was for a
video
video.
shoot,
That was
though.
for a video.
It was
That
right
was
in my
not-
old trenches, Sutter Ave train station.
Of
Make sure you know
course.
it very well. You know what I'm saying? That's not an area that you want to play around at, but it was a sanctioned and structured event.
Okay.
But it's like even look at the way Irv's mind is working in this shit, right? You hear when he talking about Pac, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he mentioned the Pain lyric. I'm a die how I was living straight thugging, which is true, right? Pac stomped out the gang member killed him. But when Irv was saying it, he was saying it like all of us now, we'd be like, damn, I can't believe Pac went out for that shit, bro. Irv is like, yo, Pac went out for that thugging shit. It's like the nigga is not mature, bro. The nigga don't, his mind is. Somebody said that Marco said the ecstasy fried his brain. That's a fact, bro.
I mean, we could equate that to a lot of things. Look at kind of Nipsey,
ignorant nigga, man.
Nipsey passed checking the nigga that snitched, which is essentially what the.
Don't do that.
That's different.
That's a different situation.
I'm talking about from the cultural perspective.
Nah,
a nigga who snitch gets checked, right or wrong, wrong.
We not pulling Nipsey's situation into that, bro. We got to be careful what we say.
I'm talking about the cultural view, bro. From a young nigga's perspective, who's really just listening to this shit, watching it, and living. I'm not talking about us, bro. I'm talking about the nigga who's just living it. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, I understand what you're saying, but is one nigga fried off for fucking ecstasy saying, let's go to the hood, and another nigga who's generally in the hood dealing with some hood politics? It's not the same thing.
I'm not. That's not how I was comparing it. I'm comparing.
I wouldn't compare it at all, is what I'm saying. Nipsey's a touchy subject in hip hop. I don't even want to pull him into this conversation.
I dig.
You know what I mean? But the situation at hand, I know, like when we watch these podcast interviews and like, you know, we talk about Pac passing, we talk about Big passing. There's always a lot of finger pointing going on. Why did he do that? I think when Un did the Vlad TV situation, there was some finger pointing with that. He kind of sideways blames Diddy for what happened to Big, having Big go to an event that might jam him up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I felt like that's what would have happened to Irv. Irv saying, yo, let's go here. Let's say now something does happen to Nas in that situation, rocking the big QB chain or whatever the case may be. We would have blamed Irv for that. Irv wanted to be a martyr, and we would have been looking at Irv like, why the fuck would you take? Like, didn't Cam get shot in Maryland? Like they don't fucking play around out there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hell no, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Sin, good shit in the Lambo, bro. Right.
So it's like, I look at that situation, and I guess I'm gonna float it to you guys at the table and to the chat. In Murder Inc.'s peak, did we as a culture take Murder Inc. seriously? Even if they were street niggas. When they began to take over the music they were making, from my point of view, it always felt like we knew about Murder Inc. We knew they were there, but we never took them seriously because of the kind of music they were making. Yeah. And I always felt like they rocked that chip. Even to this day, you listen to how Ja talks and he does do interviews. There's a big chip on their shoulder because no matter how many units they moved, hip hop didn't take them seriously. The industry took them seriously. Pop culture took them seriously. Right. But they always had a point to, even with the 50 shit. Maybe they did poke a 50. Maybe 50 did get the restraining order. But niggas looked at 50 more respectably because of his energy and how he approached the industry as he ran roughshod to 10 million records plus sold. I felt like that chip on their shoulder kind of put them in these positions to take L's and regularly look stupid on TV or in this case on the internet. You had Ashanti. You was clapping Ashanti cheeks. And you find a way to make that corny because you got corny energy. Like imagine making Ashanti one of the most desirable women in our culture. You made having her corny. You made riding around with Nas corny because you got this chip on your shoulder. Am I wrong in saying that there was a lack of taking Murder Inc. seriously since then? I know you were talented enough. Am I bugging when I say that?
No, you're not bugging. You're not bugging. Remind me who, like it was Cadillac,
Black Child,
Vita,
Charlie Baltimore.
I mean, some of them, I mean, I don't know. I think like a Cadillac Top, maybe we might have looked at him like, oh, he might, you know, he might be on some real shit. But most of the rest of them, like, nah, bro, like it wasn't like that. We never looked at him like that. Especially after G Unit came through. Like that was the end of that,
bro. The reason, and this is the thing. I'm sorry, Mace. I'm gonna pass it right back to you because I see this comment here. You know, I start reading the chat. Easy Cool says y'all didn't take Josh seriously only after 50 arrived. So unless you were sitting at these lunch tables with me or at these barbershops with me, I vividly remember us getting tired of Ja Rule singing before 50 Cent was even a thought. Like this happened, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. All 50 did was say the shit we was thinking the entire time. So again, let's not revise history because you weren't outside, Easy Cool. Go ahead, Mace.
And that's exactly why he won the battle. You know what I mean? When you say something that everybody's been dying to hear, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't make people believe it. Even as a youngster back then, probably like 13 or whatever, I knew it. I knew that shit was going on. But I think you're right. That chip on their shoulder not only led to the bad decision making, because it's not just, you know, shit like this, right? These motherfuckers got associated with Preem and got themselves in the middle of a RICO, bro, which is what in their minds, that's the reason they lost the whole shit. You know what I mean? Why were you doing that after you had already? Because even though this is the early 2000s, they already had seen what happened to Bad Boy and Death Row. Like, you kind of should have knew by that point. But Irv clearly had this chip on his shoulder, and just like you say, maybe he's from the suburbs or whatever, because it seemed like he just had this desperate validation. Like, remember when 50 was dissing him? He used to say, "You trying to be Suge." You know what I mean? You remember the era, bro. So it's like, yeah, not only they made bad decisions musically, because as soon as 50 came out, they deviated from they formula, to be honest. They tried to be tough. They stopped singing. They fucked up with that one. And on the streets, they was getting into like, you know what I mean? Just like you say, nobody's calling Murder Inc. soft. We knew the dudes they was running with, you know what I mean? G Unit and Murder Inc. was a back and forth. It wasn't just a one-way, you know, issue. But look at what ended up happening, bro. After the RICO, the rest of Def Jam wasn't fucking with him. You ever seen a picture? You ain't see a picture with Ja Rule and this local celebrity rapper again to like 2019, bro. They stopped fucking with these niggas.
Bro, it's like you reading my mind, Mace, because it's like I noticed that the distance between Jay-Z and Murder Inc. got very loud around the 50 issue, especially because of the legalities of it all and the kind of shit that Irv and them was getting into. Them Rockefeller niggas had their own problems. They didn't need, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Go ahead, Dini. Yeah.
That RICO shit just bring everybody in. You take the right picture with the wrong nigga and shit can just go left. But like I said, man, I still think it's just delusions of grandeur. I think it's a dude. I keep it a buck, man. In my head, I'm thinking it's the same thing. He Ja Morant, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just a nigga that just that culture. Like, if you look at it the wrong way, it's a lens, and you can look at it the wrong way. You can get sucked in by the corny shit. Because that shit never made me want to pick up the strap and bug out, bro. This shit was just. If you look at the culture the wrong way, you could take it as I want to be the nigga running the show. You like listen to that drawl is a takeover. That's that Kobe in the fourth quarter. We down by 10. Like at some point in Irv life, he felt that way. He wanted to be that nigga on the top. Pause. So when he got that shine and the money, everything just went left. Because now you got the money. Now you want the power. That's where the connection with Preem come in. That's only a money and power connection. That's the only real thing you getting out of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Money and power. That's what all this shit stems from. And in the wrong niggas' hands. Because I feel like if that was Ja Rule, we might not have seen that type of crazy. I can't imagine. He's saying Ja Rule's like, yeah, nigga, we gonna take them. I don't see Ja doing that, bro. Yeah. Like, I really don't. But in my case to tell a story, I gotta make it sound like this nigga's riding with me. But I'm sure even Ja was like, nigga, like, I ain't trying to get shot, bro.
And that's the thing. Like, you talked about the money and the power. That usually equates to respect. But it looked like, from my perspective, and the people, especially us in New York, that respect was fleeting. Because again, if you talk to every 5 people around the age of, like, let's say 17 to 25 around that time, and you ask them about Murder Inc., niggas was listening to Clue tapes. They was listening to fucking early Fabulous, early Desert Storm, D Block, Rockefeller State Prop, Dipset. That's what niggas was listening to in real time around that time. Irv Gotti, them niggas was moving big units, but the streets did not love them, bro. And that's the point that Easy Cool not understanding is like, I don't know where you from, fam. You might not be from New York, but from inside of New York City, Murder Inc. was moving big units, but we could not take niggas was not taking that J-Lo shit seriously, bro. We wasn't taking the Loving Man shit that Ja was doing serious. We wanted the holla holla Ja Rule. That guy. That's the guy.
He left what we wanted to go do that shit. Yeah, it was crazy.
Right.
And he was from that Def Jam lineage. He was following the local celebrity rapper,
Murder
DMX,
Gram.
Meth and Red. Like Def Jam provided a lot different than what Ja Rule was doing at the time. So you got to think about that as well.
I'm not mad at that. Shit, even Fat Joe got caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? And think about it helped him elevate. But eventually Fat Joe realized himself he had to get back a little more raw with his sound. Got with Cool and Dre, and the synergy he had and the sonics he had with them niggas was not what he was doing with the Murder Inc. niggas. To be fair, I think that he never got that respect. And I think that burns Irv to this day. You think about how they talk in their interviews, like you lost.
But I don't. Yeah. But to echo something that Mace was saying earlier, I don't think that feeling of lack of respect started in the industry. I think that shit started from way earlier in his life, man. That feeling that he carries to this day, and you hear it in every interview. It's like he's posturizing entirely too much. I'm like, bro, you gotta be like 50 years old. Like, why are you still talking about your like visions of what you could have been in the hood 20 years ago? Like, not in the industry, you know what I mean? But in the hood, how you would have looked to the hood. And then he wanted to spin it like, but you know, like if they would have seen that rolling through the hood, they would have remembered it forever. Like we could have given them that battery in the back. No, bro, this is something inside of you that you gotta go to therapy and work the fuck out, because you're still trying to be that nigga in the hood. Why?
Murder Inc. Hive in the comments, man.
There's levels, man. Like I said, I think he wanted his Nas in the lawn chair experience, bro. And niggas was like, oh shit, Nas is in the hood. He want that, bro. Like that's an act. Like I said, to us, these are just. But
that's not the same, bro. Like
I'm not saying it's the same. I'm talking about, but
they see what I see.
In culture, it matters, bro.
Yeah.
In cultures, it matters.
Yo, bro, y'all sound wild. Murder Inc. was hard. Niggas ratted and jammed them up. Chat, you know, I love these live shows. Chat, did we say Murder Inc. was whack? Did we say their music was whack?
They had a run.
Or did we say that inside of New York City, the music they were producing is not what New York hip hop wanted? Like, you're not listening good since 85. If you're going to come and listen to our show and tap in, and we appreciate the view, hit the like button as you're here, but at least be fair and respond to what we're saying directly. Don't make up some shit that you think we saying, because we didn't say that. You dig?
And we're not saying nothing about them being soft, because it seems like you're trying to drive home the point. Like, we're not saying nothing about what actually happened in the streets between anybody, bro. We wasn't there, man.
Again, we said that the perception got in the way. We said he might have, again, like I said 5 minutes ago, they might have legitimately poked up 50, but 50's energy and the way he was delivering his message superseded everything they was doing. And I think Sin, I throw it to you because you kind of go in there, and Mace mentioned it too. I think it's the fact that he's not revered. He's never, even like when he talks about his history at Def Jam, he constantly had to prove himself at Def Jam. They never gave him his flowers. You look at how Hove and Diddy, even regardless of how they do their business, based on what Murder Inc. did statistically, Irv's supposed to be right there with them.
Right.
And I feel like that lack of revere is hurting them.
Right. But it begs the question, like if at every juncture in your life, motherfuckers start looking at you a certain way, like, nah, I'm not fucking with that dude, or nah, I'm not, you know, he's not, I thought he was like that, he's not really like that, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, you got to look at yourself in the mirror and realize, shit, maybe it's me, you know what I mean?
Like, if you have Nas Escobar in the midst of a maybe not a rebrand, but a resurgence. He already beat Hove at the time when he was running around Murder, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, at this point.
Why the fuck does Nas need to go to any hood to prove anything for a moment? Like he don't need like does that Nas honestly, you know, I I'm a whole fan. Y'all know that, right? But Nas, if outside was a person, it was Nas. He been doing his rap shit since what, 15, 16 at events
16.
outside.
Yeah.
He lived it. You
Yeah.
think Nas in his early 30s needs to go to Maryland to get some chicken with some Rolls Royces and flick it up or whatever you would have done in 2002, 2003? Does that even make sense?
He gotta know his who he talking to, right? Like
Why does
he
the
could have got
rapper need to
DMX
say
to do that, maybe.
X wouldn't do that shit?
You know?
Rest in
X,
peace.
X.
Rest
I
in
don't
peace
know.
to X, but like you sitting there like, why does the artist have to tell you, yo, you might get us killed? Like, why would you even tell that story? Nas didn't even rap about that.
Don't even want that in the
He
air,
kept that
man.
under wraps, bro.
I don't want that in my
Like
discography.
y'all not paying
But
attention.
that's it just goes back to like the narcissism. It's like
What the
I'm
hell?
gonna tell this story, and it's gonna sound like I'm the hard dude, and Nas was kind of on some corny sucker shit. Because
Right.
that's how it felt to me.
There's some
You know what I
niggas that's
mean?
gonna take it that way.
Meanwhile, Nas always been the smart one.
Bro, he said, what if we get killed? How much rappers gotta die being at the wrong place at the wrong time for you to realize that's crazy? No easy cool. We don't want nobody validating streetness. We telling you what happened in real time in 2002, 2001, what the perception was about the music. Because again, we didn't have an internet. There was no Instagram. So all we had was
Right.
The Source, Double XL,
Source,
Word Up
mixtapes.
magazine, shit like that. So whatever you put out was your brand, unless you proved it otherwise. And to the general perception was they're making boppy records for pop radio, and we did not want that. I'm just telling you what happened. We don't. It's not a punishment. It's the reality of the situation. Again, you were not outside. You obviously weren't there. Just say, yo, you know what, Rap Roundtable, I wasn't there, and I see it differently from y'all, and we could agree to disagree. But don't come here arguing and being sassy. It's corny.
The
You know?
joints dug it, but the niggas who was like hip hop heads, that shit was for the breeze, bro. Like,
bro,
for the
Dipset,
breeze.
State Property, G Unit.
Yeah, it was too much heat. It was too much heat.
What we talking about, bro? We got a couple of super chats to get to. Let me do the
Adriel, what up?
Now we got to go to Jermaine Johnson first before Adriel because he dropped it first. You know what I mean?
Copy.
The super chat MVP. He says it's disappointing to see OGs like Irv and Dame act like unaccomplished bozo cornball niggas instead of like legendary executives that they are. That's tough. Jermaine L.
True indeed.
From the top rope. Oof.
Heavy.
Real facts too.
It's tough because it's like people want to argue with us today, but it's like, again, Irv somehow made clapping Ashanti something that niggas only dream about. Corny. You don't see notice Nelly got her back. So Nelly ain't go outside, you know what I mean, telling the story. He played his position and he got his lady back. You out here talking about how y'all fell in love and then wrote the song and like, bro, Pillow talking on a podcast is crazy.
That was the bid that Nelly put in the verses that night.
You saw it.
That was the bid.
That's
I
tough,
dig it,
bro.
I dig it.
Dame talking about how he snatched Aaliyah from Hove on a rando podcast. You didn't even get that to fucking Drink Champs or Charlemagne or shit. Even if you would have gave that to Art of Dialogue, I'd have been salty, but at least it's the real platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeesh.
We ain't heard from that platform since the Dame interview. Where they went? They off the algorithm. We got Adriel Green with a super chat. Okay, we got some bars here. Okay. Watch your kids freeze the winners. They still poor. How could I tease them with Benzes and they feel no remorse? Driving past them in lively fashion, diamond colors clashing, red stones, blue stones, red bones, black ones. So Nas not trying to do that shit. That's what I get from that. Go ahead, Sin. You can. I know you know them bars.
I mean, every ghetto, bro. Like,
you know what I mean,
yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe he did speak on it on record, and we just, we didn't know the backstory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the way Nas would outright name the person that he had the moment with. All right. He didn't even rap about it. He just said, does he even really address the Murder Inc. shit in the bars? Nas fans, talk to me now.
At all, no.
Every ghetto drop before this story would have happened. So that ain't even about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Nas quick to call a nigga corny word to Hove. So I could imagine how fast he called Irv corny.
Yo. And that's when he said, I gotta get away from this nigga. This nigga got a death wish.
Corny ass nigga.
Because if you already lit, you don't need to go to the hood for the look. You did it. You rich.
Right.
The person in the ghetto might look at that wrong and be like, yo, would you trying to stun on me?
Right.
We got another super chat from Adriel Green. Nas told him on the bars from every ghetto, Irv Wallen wanted to pull up in a hood that isn't his own and stun on. See, there you go, Adriel. We on the same time.
Nigga thought,
ahead,
Joe. So nigga thought he was Lennox and Belly, Mo, gonna drive through the hood with all the niggas chasing him, putting the gun. Niggas would have blew them windows straight out, bro.
Nice.
Yo, D, I love you, bro, because that's probably exactly what he wanted. He wanted that moment.
That love, bro. I'm telling you, like this, that shit fucks niggas' heads up, bro.
Nah, so we gonna wrap 3 tour buses and strap a Bentley to the back.
Strap Bentleys to the
like,
bro. Like, you gotta remember, this is a Bentley 20 years ago. This ain't a Bentley today is like a normal occurrence. Back then, them shits was rare, bro.
And then
like,
go
rare.
to the chicken spot, chill out front. Hope you don't get robbed. Put your security in jeopardy.
Right.
Then go do the show where niggas know you performing at to probably try to rob you again after the show.
It's 50 niggas. I gotta go out there with like 50 niggas.
Did he not learn anything from Suge bringing Pac to the fucking casino, bro? You really gonna put your artist in this type of danger, my nigga? I'm not even joking. This is serious shit. You will bring Ja Rule to the middle of the hood.
But Ja wanted that though. Ja agreed. Ja was
and Pac wanted it too. You supposed to be the one to tell him no, bro. Like you the executive. You know the money. You know what I'm saying? Like Irv's supposed to be the smartest nigga in the room, and it seemed like he never was, bro.
And at that time, Nas was still already a legendary artist. So you got a legendary artist in your midst. You're not even handling the situation right, man. It'd be like that.
Book smarts and street smarts ain't the same kind of smarts there. Like if they go on the Queensbridge and they doing that, it's different. Nas Teflon the Queensbridge. You could do that. Nas was in the lawn chair a couple years ago.
And to think, this was even the time period where Nas was kind of wilding and his head wasn't completely on straight at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like that motherfucker was stressed out. But I mean, even he drew the line there. You know what I mean? So, Irv, come on, man.
Hey man, let's go on to the other salacious topic that because Irv is a gift for content creators like us. He is a gift.
That's a fact.
Indeed.
That's a fact.
He says, and I never thought I would have heard this second outside of Jay saying make another hove, that Dame Dash was there for the ride when it comes to Jay-Z's success. Deanie, you heard that. What was your immediate response? Take us back to when you watched the video. What did you think when you heard that, bro?
Yo, RIP to my nigga Takeoff, but it's this cap, bro. There is no way in hell that Dame Dash was not a vital part of that organization, bro. I mean, even down to the videos that Hove put out, Dame was the nigga that was really like making sure, you know, the computers was pewing. So that I don't believe that in one bit, bro. Like he looked like, as far as you watch backstage, you watch like all the videos, you watch all the like the past footage of them niggas together. Even if you go back to them old Choke No Joke videos when niggas is just doing like just tours and just going around, bro. Like Dame had his finger on everything that was going on, and that's complete cap, bro. There's something going on between Dame and Irv that needs to be a discussion, and I would pay to watch them two niggas argue. I keep it a book on that. But it's cap.
I mean, sincere, talk to me. Somebody just pissed me off again. I'm sorry.
No, man, I don't look.
I'm behaving, guys. I'm behaving.
However you feel about Dame today, you can't discount the fact that he was a vital part of the beginning of Rockefeller, the birth of it, and you know the energy throughout the late 90s into the early 2000s. He was obviously bringing artists in, you know what I mean? It might not have been artists that stuck around with the rock for too long, but like it was definitely artists that was pumping energy into the label. Obviously, we've seen them in the videos and everything like that. Look, nothing about what Dame was doing, and when we seen the backstage, like nothing about what Dame was doing looked like I'm just here for a good time. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like he was definitely, there was a time where it really felt like, Hov and Dame were two sides of the same coin, you know what I mean? Until they weren't, you know what I mean? And so that's extra slanderous. That's another that's another L for Irv, bro.
Jump in, Mace.
I think it's all about perspectives, to be honest. I think he's right to a degree. I think that when it comes to the career of Jay-Z, when it comes to Jay-Z's success, singularly, that Dame might have been along for the ride, right? You've seen what Irv said. Jay-Z was picking his beats. We know Jay-Z was a writer, you know what I'm saying, for himself and others. So I think, but when it comes to overall, because I think when you listen, Dini, you mentioned Choke No Joke. If you watch the Choke No Joke videos, he often says Jay-Z was in charge of Jay-Z, Dame was in charge of Rockefeller. You know what I mean? So it depends. If you feel like Jay-Z is the singular reason Rockefeller was a success, then you probably would think that Dame was just along for the ride, because Dame was controlling the rest. Dame was doing everything with the movies, to Beans, to State Prop, to the Dipset. Dame was pretty much in control of that. Jay-Z had to sign off because we know how that goes. But I feel like it depends kind of your perspective. You know what I mean? I think Jay-Z was completely in charge of what Jay-Z was doing from the 90s to 03. But Dame had the rest of Rockefeller on lock. So it depends on how much you value the rest of Rockefeller. And it don't seem like Irv does, to be honest.
There we go.
Shout out to K Love. He was talking about something that I had said in regard to Dame. I did say that, and I'm gonna expand on that a little bit more right now. The first thing I want to say when it comes to Dame and Irv, because again, I watched Dame Dash is another gift who keeps on giving with the interviews. Dame Dash, if nothing else, has no filter, especially at the peak of his powers, peak Rockefeller. Dame Dash would tell you exactly what he thinks of you. I don't know if Dini, when you were on the street team many moons ago, if you got to be around Dame and see him in action. But we've seen the documentaries. We've seen him in motion, really clowning Clue. Said Clue had like 5 different haircuts at one time on the backstage joint. Like, Dame thinks that Irv is a cornball. So I could only imagine what Dame used to say to Irv in real time in them studio sessions when he was around. Because and if you think about how Irv, we just talked about how he moved with Nas, imagine some of the corny things that we don't know about that Dame will be the one to be like, yo, fam, that's fucking corny. Get the fuck out of here. Because Dame, he talks a lot of shit. Dame is Harlem embodied. Like, he is the most Harlem nigga outside of maybe Cam. And he might be more Harlem than Cam. Might be more Harlem than Diddy, honestly. You know what I'm saying? That guy, so I could see where Irv would take the opportunity to slander Dame Dash, to say some shit like that. Because imagine being called corny for 20 years. You might have something to say. And Dame has said that to a degree where Irv is taking every chance to have some salacious attempt to shoot at Dame. Irv takes every chance possible. Because if you think about how Irv tells his stories about Jay-Z, it's as if Irv has been instrumental in Jay-Z's career since Reasonable Doubt. You know what I'm saying? So for him to tell that story, he has to move Dame out the way. I think when it comes to the business, I could see the whole thing about Jay-Z being responsible for Jay-Z and Dame being responsible for Rockefeller, because Jay-Z, the artist, wasn't Jay-Z, the businessman. You know what I'm saying? The day-to-day operations, I think Dame was in charge of that. He was a person signing the deals. He's a person at these meetings. I think as time went along, and I've said it on this pod many times, I think Irv started to become bad money, because at those meetings, as Jay-Z became more of a powerful figure in music, they don't want to talk to loudmouth Dame calling you an ass or talking to Kevin Lyles or Leo, all kinds of crazy, when they could talk to Jay, who's probably much easier to talk to. So they cut Dame out the equation. You know what I mean? And I think that's what happened. I don't agree with Irv. I think that without Dame, there is no Rockefeller dynasty. Everybody played their position. Hov had the music. Yes, Hov picked the beats, but the business of it all, maybe the deal that they got from Def Jam, you think Hov was negotiating that? I don't think so. I think Dame played a role in that.
Yeah.
Anybody got anything to add to that? I don't want to, you know what I mean?
Just the way he fought for the brand, bro. He was kind of like the enforcer for the brand. Like, I mean, just all the times I could think back, bro. Even the board meetings where he wasn't invited to certain board meetings, the shit with Kevin Lyles was like, "Is this a Def Jam tour? Why the fuck niggas got Def Jam jackets?" Like Kevin Lyles, bro. Like it was like he was
like
talking
that,
to a peon, bro.
Eventually, you can't keep talking like that. Once y'all getting into the non-figures, hundreds of millions of dollars that the Rockefeller Def Jam partnership generated between Jay-Z, then Kanye showed up. Shit, Clue went platinum, Cam went platinum, the Diplomat Records subsidiary that was affiliated with that. You got to remember too, Fabulous wasn't signed to Def Jam, but he was managed by Dame at a certain point. There was a lot of business coming through those buildings. At a certain point, you can't keep talking like that. You got to start being a professional.
That's when keeping it real goes wrong.
Go ahead, Mace.
Now, I was also going to mention that I think there's a certain, because you mentioned Irv's history with Jay going back to Reasonable, and his history with all these New York staples from that era. You know what I mean? Honestly, Irv got history with all of them.
Hell yeah.
But I think that there's also a certain kind of turn your nose up that Irv may have, because Dame wasn't a music guy, right? Irv was a music guy, as a producer. Puff was a producer, right? A lot of the guys were music guys. Dame kind of was the street guy. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah,
they may look at him a little different than the respect that they carry for each other.
And to be clear, because I know some people are gonna have some pushback about saying Puff was a producer. Puff was in the studio with artists, you know what I mean, putting the records together. We're not saying that he was playing the MPC or mixing down the records or anything like that. But he was formulating as like a classic music producer does, right? He was formulating the records. He was putting the records together. He was telling people how to do shit in the studio. You know what I mean?
But to be fair to Dame, you might not play an instrument, but to me, Dame's ear played a big role too. Because I always say it, Jay-Z with Dame is not Jay-Z without Dame sonically. And the story he told about what happened with Super Ugly, where like he wasn't in the room for that, and had he been there, that doesn't happen. I believe Dame 120%, because one thing Dame always represented was being cool niggas. And Super Ugly was the first time you could say that Jay-Z wasn't the cool guy in the situation. He lost his cool. He got emotional, and he played that card. Dame is not gonna have you out here looking crazy. Think about how like the persona, the swag, all of that Dame always talks about, and it curated his way into Hove's bars. Post your time. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jav, are you trying to say that Super Ugly was the audio version of going in the middle of Baltimore and eating fried chicken in the hood, bro?
Look who was affiliated.
Irv Energy got Jay-Z in trouble, bro. That's what you said?
Think about how Jay Pashar Nas on Takeover talked above him. You ain't shit. So now you emotional on Super Ugly. Right. Who's in the room for Super Ugly? The same nigga that said go get fried chicken in the hood. Bad decisions. Same guy who said let's make clap back at 50 when 50 was running roughshod. It's the same guy. Irv Gotti is in the room for greatness and some really poor decisions when you at war. Like it's Dame. I always tell y'all, even in personal conversations, I wish Hove and Dame could get cool again, because I feel like Hove's music would get better immediately upon Dame just being next to Jay again. And showing him like, yo, this is who you used to be, son. You're not this dreadlock dude trying to be this, that, Art Basel and whatever the fuck you was rhyming about, or Magna Carta, Holy Grail. You the street nigga that made it. Talk about that shit.
Basquiat's and Rilke's.
Right. Dame was the cool meter for Rockefeller. Hove was the cool star, but to me, Dame was the person you had to pass through Dame for it to even see the light of day. And I think without Dame, there is no Rockefeller.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The chat going in. Let me see what they talking about. Super Ugly was a dope diss. I mean, it was a dope diss, but it's just not
entertaining.
It's right.
I think Ja's in the chat, bro.
But like I always say, Job, those are the hard disses, the ones you could play in the spot. Like Super Ugly used to get played in the spots, bro. Like,
bro, don't get it twisted. It was Listen, like I always say, if you ask, if put it this way, chat, if me and you snapping, and I say I skeeted in your Jeep, left condoms on your baby seat, you can't tell me that I didn't win that battle. You know what I'm saying? But I can understand the art of war in 2002, because it's on the flip side of that. Let's go to the Pusha T and Drake of it all. Pusha T exposed niggas having a kid, and y'all sanctioned that. Y'all, because y'all didn't like Drake, so it was sanctioned. Y'all didn't like Hov, so him saying baby moms is not sanctioned. You know, I already know what it is. I understand.
It makes sense though.
But
does it work for Pac too, man?
That's a fact.
It all depends on who the messenger is. Don't kill the messenger. They didn't like Hov was not the messenger they wanted that from. You know what I mean? But you can't say one hot album every 10-year average and then play the I'm smashing your girl card right after that. You know what I mean?
Right.
If he drops Blueprint 2 and say, you know, the Koofy nigga, yeah, we scrapping. Blueprint 2 was almost a year too late. People talking was too late. All them little shots they took at each other, if you just throw Super Ugly out after all them other disses, then it's like, oh, Hov is wild now. Now he's smashing this girl. It's crazy. But you got emotional almost immediately.
Quickly.
That's the ultimate diss, man.
And
the
then you
ultimate
apologize.
diss.
You can't say sorry because your mom. You just gonna have to beef with your moms. Don't
You
go
just
on
gotta
Hot
take
97
the
say sorry.
That was a crazy moment, bro.
That's what fucked the whole shit up for me. If we would have stood on it, like,
yeah, I smashed Carmen. What happened? You know what I
might have
mean?
looked at it differently.
Stand on that.
Rough times.
But let's get away from that. I know the chat loves the Hov and Jay and Nas talk, but that's not really why we're here tonight. You know, Dame was needed. That's the point. Irv is wrong.
Facts.
Episode of the Rap Table.
Irv is always wrong, bro.
I can't wait to hear Dame's response, man.
Maybe Irv was just hungry. Maybe because he had he had the ecstasy. What you said, Danny?
I can't wait to hear Dame's response.
Oh,
it's gonna be epic.
This is gonna call him corny again. That's what I'm talking about. You know, I don't do corny things. A real man doesn't do these things. You know what I mean? That's what it's gonna be. Another one of those.
That's exactly what
I'm making movies.
You know what I mean? But maybe the ecstasy had him high and hungry, and he just wanted to grab a bite to eat, bro. You know, that's what
I ain't hungry.
Nigga was starving, man.
Yo,
I'm dead.
Last but not least, before we get out of here, it ain't too much to talk about. Plus, we got episode 78 dropping tomorrow. Make sure y'all pull it right back up tomorrow. Episode 78 is on deck.
Believe that.
Hit that like button as you're here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, again, you don't have to agree with us. We're not here for that. But if you're gonna curse it up, tell us we weirdos, tell us we bozos. Try to say y'all must assume Sin was white, so we let him use the N-word. Sin is Puerto Rican and Ecuadorian. You know what I mean? He's gonna say it. It's okay. Hit the like button. Did you see that, Sin? Someone was like, "Oh, y'all let Sin use the N-word."
Nah, I peeped it.
Hey,
somebody said that, yo. Y'all get me saying that, man.
What?
Hey, you damn right. I'm a loyal Hovenger. I could talk nice about Nas and still be loyal to Hov. You know what I mean? Both things are true. But across the news wire, Maxito, I'm coming to you with this one.
Yeah.
Art of Dialogue posted something on Twitter saying that Las Vegas authorities are close to charging officially Keefe D with the murder of Tupac. Yeah. Almost a lot of years later. What do you think about these reports, all things considered?
27 years later, y'all. And just like you say, Art of Dialogue reported actually come from the Sun, the news outlet in the UK, that murder charges are imminent. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's crazy.
They coming, man.
Imminent.
That's what they said. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a very pessimistic guy. So it's like every time something comes out about this Keefe D Pac shit, you know what I mean? And I'm a Pac fan, right? So you don't want to get hyped like, oh, justice is going to be served or whatever. And then, you know what I mean? Just have him posing on Art of Dialogue next week. Like, you know what I mean? Beat the body,
case.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't want to make myself get upset about that coming down the line. So I try to not even get too crazy about these headlines that are coming out. But according to them, they had the raid for Keefe D's crib not too long ago. You know what I mean? Due to his, constant, Art of Dialogue and DJ Vlad interviews bragging about the murder. Listen, I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know how they're going to bring up the charges because according to everything, the feds gave him immunity. You know what I'm saying about this? Now they're saying due to Nevada, they can still charge him, so they can circumvent those federal, basically
really?
He told, and that's why, that's what they say, that Nevada can separately charge him for the murder. Don't matter what what he did in LA trying to get his deal. You know what I mean? So that's what they saying, man. And I can only hope that it do work out because I'm real sick seeing that this dude dance on Pac's grave. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm hoping it happens for real, but I don't know. I'm just like really like, if this was Law and Order, I don't feel like by the 53rd minute the case would have been solved. You feel what I'm saying? This is the to be continued for real, bro. Like, so I don't know, man.
This is
I
more
can't
like
call
some
it yet.
True Detective shit, Mace. We need a whole season. You know what I mean?
You feel me?
Can you imagine what it's like doing time as the nigga who killed maybe the most influential rapper, like I'm saying, of all time, bro? Like, that's some different shit, bro.
He's not making it. He's not making it. I
How
don't know,
you-
man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, son. Go ahead, bro.
I'll keep it short, but like I kind of feel what Mason's saying. Like I don't like I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up. I'm looking at I look at his picture, I look at his face, I look at the headlines, and I'm like, nah, this shit ain't it's not sinking in yet. This shit don't feel real. Like this is gonna be something that's gonna be drawn out for a while. I think this is not something that's gonna be wrapped up anytime soon. Right,
more drawn out than 27 years.
But if and when it does, like, I feel like it's still gonna take some time to sink it. Like, finally, like we have some closure on this shit. Like emotionally, it's like, no, this is Pac. This is Pac's murderer, man. Like, it's gonna take some time to sink in, even at this early stage.
In the 50th year, hip hop too. They get him crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, like, I mean, I want to shake the table a little bit, but I'm gonna wait. Before this episode is out, but I gotta get this off. It's like, how you talk yourself into a charge on a podcast? Unbelievable.
Incredibly.
The amount of times we done said, yo, we done seen other people go on other platforms and they said that platform was getting niggas lined up.
Right.
You go there and you say all of these things, like, for what, bro? Like you're not rapping, you're not getting any like, what is it called, like endorsements. There's no deals coming down the block. You're doing this strictly for internet clout, and now you brought the authorities to your front door. And then the same platform that you went on is tweeting out that you're about to get arrested after you told on yourself on that platform. This is beyond me. Like, I've never seen this. Is honestly, like, this is college. When they teach you about like there's like sociology classes in college. Right. Like, this is like high level, like whatever the highest level, like AP sociology. Like, it was like a section on how to be as stupid as you can possibly be ever in life. You would teach this shit. Like, what Keefe did needs to be studied. Like, what the fuck?
But to be, I mean, I don't want to say to be fair, because I don't feel like being fair to this guy. But I mean, we don't know what somebody's conscience does to them over time when they're holding on to something like this. If this is in fact true, if he really was the man that did this, he's been living with that shit for how long now? 27 years, bro. Like, you don't know what that
watching
does to
everybody talk about him every year.
At some point, your brain is just gonna be just start start spilling the beans here and there. Somebody will pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know sometimes. This
is loser shit. Because you're not even getting a bag. Like, I can see if he could have flipped it, like he wrote a novel and then he got like a little deal, a publishing deal for his book, right, where it's loosely based on things that might have occurred with Tupac, and you cashed out and then you went to jail, but you didn't even get a bag for it, bro.
Might be in the works.
That's kind of crazy.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Yo, you're textbook stupid.
and then if we want to, I guess we throw the allegedly on there, you know what I mean? Since a couple people might be watching this these days, but you allegedly you weren't even the trigger man, bro. You're not even the trigger man, so you about to take the L, and you didn't even squeeze the trigger, bro. Imagine
nasty
that.
Work.
You 60 years old, bro.
And you an old nigga. You're not even like some young nigga who got the life in front of you where you could flip the clout into something. Like, you're old, bro. Go be a dad or an uncle or a grandpa, nigga.
Grandpa, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Mike 1980 in the chat saying the shit that I said last time that we touched on this subject. He on that OJ shit. If I kill Pop, not saying I did it, but if I did it,
but if I would have,
this is exactly how it happened.
Come on, bro.
Nasty.
But now I gotta shake the table a little bit, right? Y'all let me know in the chat, Rap Round Table, Dini, you're gonna bat lead off after I make this statement.
Copy.
Keefe D goes to jail, right? Let's say this happens. He gets the Vegas book thrown at him, whatever the fuck, right? Does Art of Dialogue get the Vlad treatment? Is Art of Dialogue now the feds if he goes to jail? Because they said Vlad was the feds. But if Keefe
What's
D
the
goes
word,
to
Dane?
jail, is it now Art of Dialogue is the feds? Can Gip no longer go on the show?
I would have to say yes. Yes. Federally shit occurred through being upon said podcast, and yeah,
The podcast will let that man incriminate himself.
yeah, and you put it out. So yeah, you got a whole L.
Just say the rap snob, talk to me.
AOD is the feds, bro. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, bro. And who's the mace? Who's the person behind that?
What you mean for Art?
For Art of Dialogue. Are they?
I don't even know the dude's name, bro. It's one guy out of Texas, man. I don't even know his name, to be honest with you.
But what is he?
He's black.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Keefe,
Yeah,
you want to
black.
go to jail? You want to talk about
He's
Tupac?
black.
You want to go to jail? I hate his voice.
He looked a little bit like Academics to me, but not all, like an older version. You know what I'm saying?
Older
Like,
Oh shit.
what Job? You make sense.
He the feds or just a vulture, bro.
To
One
me,
or the
two
other.
T's look like an
He's
older
both.
act.
You know, technically, like he went to Vlad first, right? So maybe Art and Vlad are like partners on some McNulty and
I'm
type
dead.
shit. You know what I mean? Maybe they working together in unison. You
The
know what
Wire.
I'm saying? Like good cop, bad cop. You feel me? Like
So Art and Vlad are the new season of True Detective. This whole thing has been one case.
man.
bro, exactly, man.
Wow.
One of them might not get you, but both, it's a wrap, man.
Nah, all I'm saying
Twice
is
one, you done.
In that equation, they got to be a bub somewhere. Like who's Bubs?
hey,
Who's Bubs? Yeah, who's Bubs, bro?
Hey,
Who's the nigga making a little wooden tables?
Yeah.
Bro? Who's the old nigga?
I'm not saying that all the dialogues are the feds, but I'm just saying based on what y'all say about Vlad and what's happening to Keefe D, all the dialogues is the feds. They literally are the cops if he goes
Go
to jail.
time.
He sent Tupac's murderer to jail. That's ultra fed, bro. Like,
Squally.
Bro, they're gonna
you know
have
what I mean?
he's gonna have a whole story told about him. Like he's gonna get interviewed. He's gonna get interviewed about getting Tupac's
Books.
murderer locked up.
Stories.
You think
You
Gip is
can't
mad
beat
that he didn't uncover it first?
I think Gip is just mad at life.
Gip is mad that a New Yorker didn't commit the crime.
Yo, hey yo,
I'm dead.
Hold on, real quick. Was Gip at the Hip Hop 50 show in Atlanta? Did he get on stage?
Yeah, he was. He was a part of he's a Goody Mob head, so he was there with them.
Good. Speaking of that, before we get out of here, I said to make sure that someone thought about Gip in Atlanta. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Because he ain't get. I think if Gip would have did Hip Hop 50 in New York, he would have got booed at Yankee Stadium.
There's a big chance, man. New York ain't really feeling the energy right now. It's a lot of negative
that's
New York
a good
love.
question.
I don't know. I don't know
I
if
think he
enough
would have
people
got
know
booed,
about.
bro.
I don't know if enough people know about
That crowd.
him.
Everybody in Yankee Stadium knew, bro. What you look at that crowd? I was booing. I tell you that off the rip. The Gip came on that stage, I was booing immediately, bro. But yo, I noticed something that Joe Budden said on his podcast, and I told y'all off the air that I was salty about it. That we didn't think of it first. I hate when we don't think of shit first because we like to tell niggas that we thought of it first before our ideas get stolen. But he looked at the record labels not doing anything for Hip Hop 50, and I thought that was very loud. I know Def Jam has some shaky relationships with their previous acts. It probably would have been tough, but even still, how is there no Def Jam show for Hip Hop 50? Atlantic ain't do no show for Hip Hop 50. Interscope didn't do a Hip Hop 50 show. Like these people who run the labels, they make all this money off of us. They didn't want to celebrate Hip Hop 50 to say the rap song. What the hell is this about, bro?
I think the presence of the label isn't what it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. I don't think they care enough about not just the culture, but like their persona. Because labels used to have a persona. You know what I mean? The
Right.
whole label had a persona. Def Jam, Loud, No Limit, Bad Boy. They was personas. Like you felt that energy.
Prestige.
You know what I mean? Around the collective of artists that were under that flag. We don't have that anymore. You know what I mean? So I feel like, you know, that relationship between the label and artists and the culture is colder than it's ever been. You know what I mean? Like, labels and business was always cold. You know what I mean? But at least there was some type of, feeling of warmth in terms of the relationship between certain labels and the artists. But now it's just like, who are they? Who are these labels? Who's the people behind the labels? Who signed to these labels? Like, we don't even really hear. If it wasn't for Benny the Butcher continually talking about his Def Jam label debut, like, who would be talking about, yo, I'm signed to Def Jam, like nobody does that. Nobody does that anymore. So I feel like that presence of you know what I mean, that presence that labels used to have once upon a time, like, it's just not there. It's just all about just straight cold business.
What you think, Dean?
That was a good sum up, man. That he said the warmth. Yeah. You remember when labels used to think there was just a crazy family vibe with the labels, you know what I'm saying? Like Mev Bleak and Jay go a long way, but when Beans added, it almost felt like Beans and Jay had a long-standing connection the way they got together on the records. It just, you don't feel that. It just feels like record labels now are just a bunch of independent contractors for artists. You know, it doesn't. It used to feel like it was like Puff, Bad Boy. It used to feel like it was literally a family where I can call upon you to do songs with me and my guys and look like we really come together, like, to make music and do things for the crowd. Like, if you look at like a label like QC, you know what I'm saying? Lil Baby don't be doing too much shit with the Migos. You know what I'm saying? You don't see Lil Yachty and all them dudes flexing. I mean, even now you got TDE. I don't really see too much, like Schoolboy popping out a lot for like Ab-Soul. Like, I thought I would have, like, I used to be a group, you know what I'm saying?
Movement, yeah.
So I thought I would have seen a lot more of that, but it's just not like that anymore. I think the money fucked that up. I think streaming fucked that up. I think the way the business is handled fucked that up, because you had to really groom a nigga, so he had to really fit in with what you do. But now you don't need to fit in no more. You could just be a random squirrely nigga and just take them in and just say, yo, you're a part of the team now. And it works. It works. Like the way Kanye worked with Rockefeller. It might not have worked like that back in the days. You know what I'm saying? It's a different time. It's a different time.
And shouts to Dreamville, because out of the labels that's out there, I feel like Dreamville is that, you know what I mean? At least they feel like a connected unit. You know what I mean?
They mesh a lot. They do a lot of things together. So it works, you know?
They even do a whole Dreamville Fest or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
What you think?
Honestly, bro, hip hop labels should have done something. And I get it. Interscope and Atlantic and Universal, these motherfuckers got endless money in the bank, right? But come on, man. Def Jam, the original hip hop label, the niggas that sold their rights to Urban Outfitters and are selling them varsity jackets for $300. Y'all could have threw a hip hop show, bro. Like, I'm not going. Then you mentioned Dreamville with the Dream Fest. I'm not gonna let the youngins off. TDE and Dreamville should have did something, bro. QC should have did some shit. I'm talking about the hip hop labels. You know what I mean? Not the big,
not the parents, not the parents. Yeah.
Hip hop labels, absolutely. Snoop made a big ass fucking deal about buying Death Row, bro. Where was the show where Daz Dillinger and Corrupt and Lady of Rage came back and performed? Like, come on, bro. Like, hip hop, absolutely. And I'm not even going blame the waltz of the universe. I'm gonna blame the actual hip hop labels, bro. Like, they should have did something. And it was a big L. Rock Nation. Where the fuck was the Rock Nation hip hop show, bro?
All
you know what I'm saying?
Contributed together.
According to Job, it's coming in October, November.
Coming soon.
Maybe April next year.
I just turned into Attack Job segment. Wait. I'm not taking that. No, I disagree with Mace. I think we need to blame the waltz. Because you think about what coming out of Hip Hop 50, how Uncle Luke was complaining about not being on the show and the energy that surrounded that, right? But it's it's us arguing with us about us. When in reality, the people who write the checks, they didn't say a word. And when you think about what Punch was saying about especially what Ebro was saying about like rap kind of sort of being obsolete in a couple of years, possibly. The label silence is kind of telling that they didn't feel the need to sanction an event. And it ain't nothing for a label to get a couple sponsors to pay for the shit. Like you said, Mace, Urban Outfitters is doing the Def Jam jackets for $300. They could get a couple of sponsors. Boom, boom, boom. Big Def Jam event. You get LL, all of the people in there. Oh my God, here we go with Leah May in the building. Go away, Leah. The chat has been better without you, Leah, hating all damn time. But I felt like all them parent companies have the business relationships with all of these other white people. Put some shows together. Cut the check. And let's make it happen. Because again, what are these labels without the artists that they signed? All of these black artists that they've signed over these decades, 50 years of hip hop. Come on, fam, do something. Nah, a block party somewhere in New York City, a block party somewhere in Atlanta, quick sponsorship, or notable legends get on to perform, make a quick bag, do something for charity. Hip Hop 50 celebrations sprouting up all over the place. Where's that?
You know, niggas will spend the money and pop out. So
come on now.
It feels like the story and history of colonialism all over again. You know what I mean? They done come through the culture. They done took everything, all the resources out of the culture. They, let's give this white artist over here a little hip hop. Let's give that artist over there a little hip hop. And they just stripped all the resources. And now
Filipino kids sign the M and all that.
You know what I mean? And now if the numbers ain't numbering, they're we don't need this no more. We got what we needed to get out of the culture. You know what I mean? That's how they doing it, man.
I respect that.
My whole thing is we see they gonna let it die if we don't start holding ourselves down. That's my whole thing. You know what I mean? They clearly just standing by like, you know what I mean? Let's look according to Ebro, they're looking at Afro beats now. You know what I'm saying?
And listen, honestly, look, we need more Rockefellers and more bad boys these days, man. That's the shit that got me tight the other day about the TDE shit. Like, bro, y'all on the same label and y'all beefing with each other like publicly. Like that shit looks terrible, bro. That's why I said like
beefing with us.
Shouts to Dreamville for, you know what I mean? Like they've really built an audience and they move like a collective. Who's moving like a collective out here? Honestly, you know what I mean? Everything is splintered off.
Everything's for self now, man.
And there's no more rap crews. Remember the crews? It's like who's even the crews nowadays?
Ain't nobody willing to play the bleak role in these days, man.
It's that, and it's like the crews came together also because of the art. These niggas love to rap. Like everything about rap is so business related and business oriented, where it's a bag to be had that niggas coming together because they love to rap and hopefully they cash this shit out. Just don't happen anymore.
Nah,
you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I think that's about it. You know, the chat is active. They arguing about Hov and Nas yet again. Like Night and there arguing with everybody about Nas. You know what I mean? We know what it is.
Man,
the Griselda movement.
4 other topics.
Facts.
Miss LB tried to get him right. Shouts to you, LB.
What up? Marcos mentioned the Griselda movement. And big shout out to Griselda. But as far as scale goes, Griselda is not where TDE or Dreamville is as far as like the financial backing. So I wouldn't even hold Griselda accountable. And don't get it twisted. If them niggas wasn't moving and they wasn't all over the nation right now doing a whole bunch of different things, they did this in Buffalo. If they had the open schedule to do so, hell yeah. Griselda's proven time and time again that they still keep they mom and pop shop energy when it's time to come together and do things the right way. So I won't even beef for Griselda about that. But anyway, we about to get up out of here. If you're in here right now, we got 272 in the chat. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please hit the like button. It's free. Before you leave out here, once you're done, roundtablemerch.com. Get you one of these. Roundtablemerch.com. Go to the website as soon as you leave here. Hit that link. Cop up one of these truckers. We're the brand that represents the culture the best right now. The Rap Roundtable is not only a podcast, it's a metaphor for all things rap discussions. And when you put this on, chances are you're going to go somewhere and say, what is the Rap Roundtable? You could be like, yo, it's a podcast. 4 dudes chop it up. We in the chat chopping it up. And we all cook up. We argue about rap. We got some haters. We got some lovers. We got the Leah Mays of the world who came here to strictly say Drive TV. I'm about to block you, Leah, because you don't add nothing to the conversation. You just call my name. But anyway, go to the website, cop the hat. T-shirts are coming real soon. We're gonna have some things
Yes, sir.
moving. We're gonna have a variation of this hat, a new hat coming real soon as well. But with your help, we can move these things even faster and definitely expedite the process. Roundtablemerch.com. Hit the like button and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a
You
friend.
dig?
Yes.
Leroy Green, we are curating your project. Hit me on the side. We're gonna talk. Sincere almost has his pack ready for you to cook up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dini, take us home, bro.
Yo, as the brother said, man, roundtablemerch.com. Get you a hat. Before you bounce, hit the like button, subscribe, share it with someone who loves hip-hop. Fuck with the team. Salute Jav, the point guard. Salute Macito, voice of the industry. Salute Sincere, the rap snob. I'm Dean, the balance of the force. So with our powers combined, we the rap round table, and we fucking out of here. You dig?
Yeah, I love you,
Sir.
DMA, but you mad
Go
annoying.
get that,
Get
go
out
get
of here.
that, go get that.